Oh, it's already recording.
Hold on. It's all the way.
Oh, my bad. This is like semi-Instagram model versus professional YouTuber with equipment and like everything. Hey guys, this is Jeremy G. I am here in Seoul, Korea right now with my friend Dan Jeong. So
we only became just friends.
We literally, I just found this guy on the street and like, you know, thought I saw him from YouTube or something and
I didn't want him to come in, but
I kind of forced my way into his studio. We're just
yeah, he hit me a couple times.
Thanks so much for having me here today.
No problem.
I know that we just had this brief moment in time to catch each other where I literally just landed in Korea this morning and Dan's about to head out of the country. Yeah, Dan, can you tell me about where we are right now a little bit and a little bit more about yourself?
Here in Seoul, Korea, and this is one of my studios. Not one of my studios. It is my studio, and this is where I train. I eat here. I don't sleep here, but I take my clients and then we do like one-on-one training to get you fit, flexible, and mobilized.
Very cool. And Dan, so word on the street is you are training Hong 10 and FLOWXL, and just basically every famous Korean b-boy that anyone outside the country has seen on YouTube before. Is this true?
It is definitely true. It's not a word of the mouth. It is the fact. Yeah, it's not hidden or anything. Yeah, I'm now part of FLOWXL, so I'm not a dancer for FLOWXL. Unfortunately, I'm their trainer, so I make sure they don't get injured. If they ever have any goals, like if you want to get into like a deeper splits, I help them out. So it's all based off their goals, because each of their members already know how to train in terms of dancing, but in terms of like flexibility training and strength training, they need some help. So that's where I play.
Gotcha. So you sort of create like custom plans for each of them depending on their goals? Or?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So because some people like to do power moves more than others, and some people need more flexibility on their neck, and everybody's so different. Yes. So I make sure that they're training different stuff.
Can you tell me a little bit more about like your own training background, like how you got to train FLOWXL, but also like you know what your experience was like to lead up to
sure.
this point where we are.
So almost 20 years ago, breaking started to become pretty popular in Korea, and then it was featured on a lot of on the TVs. So I started watching them, and then I wanted to learn how to do Nike. That's how I got started with breaking. So I had a breaking background, and I did that for almost 10 years. But as I got older, especially going towards my mid-20s, my body started aching from breaking. And I realized, oh, maybe I cannot do this for a longer time. And then I was worried, and at that time, one of my favorite b-boys were junior and people who are using like a lot of movements that requires a lot of strength. Yeah. So I saw Junior doing planche, and I wanted to learn how to do the planche. And I start researching, and at that time, there's not much information around the web. So I had to experiment on my own. So that's how I started a YouTube channel, because I did a lot of experiments, so I knew how to train people from the scratch who didn't have any gymnastics background. So I slightly moved away from breaking towards calisthenics, and that's pretty much my full-time job now, to train people using calisthenics, but not limited to calisthenics. But yeah, that's my primary goals though.
Gotcha. And I know that you've also lived like between like Korea and also America. Like, did you get into calisthenics in America, or was that something like is there a really big calisthenics community in Korea?
Some community here, but I started off in the U.S. But even in the U.S. at the time, the calisthenics community wasn't that big. It was growing at the time, but the country's so big, it was hard to meet people who are like-minded. But it was slightly easier to meet here because the country's so much smaller. So I found some people, and then we'll just train sometimes.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but it's funny because I stopped breaking to focus more on the calisthenics side, but now I have affiliates with FLOWXL, so I'm now getting back into breaking.
Things come full circle.
Yeah.
I think we both agree too. I think that we've seen like how calisthenics and breaking, there's a very high transfer effect between the two disciplines.
For sure.
Because all of the freezes, all of the handstands and stuff, like they're all basically directly bodyweight training.
Because calisthenics stems from gymnastics. Like gymnastics, it's basically gymnastics strength training, and then a lot of movements from breaking also literally came from gymnastics, right? Like
Yeah.
flares.
Even though they won't admit it, but yes, we
Yeah.
made from gymnastics.
Yeah, and then people, and then like even handstands.
Yes.
Although breakers don't do straight line handstand, but that literally came from gymnastics as well.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of things that overlap each other.
Yeah. Absolutely. And like you mentioned too, like people like Cujo or Junior, like when they're doing moves like a planche, like the planche it's a move that's also in calisthenics. And yeah, like I remember back in those days too, I was reading like a gymnastics bodies article on the web to try to figure out how to learn how to do planche at home or something.
Yeah, there was because we were in the same age, we probably share the same experiences. That's what I first saw as well. Yeah. It was literally just like a 2-page article about how to do the planche. That's about the only access of gymnastics we had at the time.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, we live in a very blessed age right now where you can just like learn different exercises and like get so many different knowledge just from like videos on like YouTube and whatnot. Whereas, I remember like back in those days where it's just forums and everything. And I actually remember finding your videos back in the day too.
Oh, really?
Like, it was like, oh, there's like an Asian guy doing calisthenics. And
not many Asians around at the time.
Yeah, there really weren't. Like, there really weren't. It's like, I remember seeing you doing planche, and you had subtitles. I remember in both Korean and English, and I was like, "Whoa, that's so cool!" Like, it's like professional.
Nowadays, there's so many channels that covers calisthenics, but back when I started, there's not many. So I figured if I cover both in English and Korean, I could get both audience. So that's why my videos always either have Korean subtitles or English subtitles.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's very smart.
And I feel like calisthenics is very important for for the breaking nowadays. Especially breaking is now a part of the sport of Olympics.
Yes.
So a lot of breakers need to figure out how to train their body properly. Because back then, using old school minded, the only thing they were doing is just breaking.
Yes.
Yeah, but you need some specific training because everybody's different.
Yep.
Like some people are born with good flexibility, but some are not.
Yep.
So they need to know how to train their body. So I think that's one of my roles to help breakers educate themselves with better knowledge on how to train themselves.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's a very valuable goal too, because I've also seen the same pattern in America where a lot of people will sort of train very specific moves, and like I mentioned too, like very much on like only one side, so they end up having a very underdeveloped like body. So when they get older, they end up having more injuries or like more long-term issues. So it's good to have that knowledge of like how to generally condition your body.
Yeah, and then biggest problems probably with the breaking is that only thing they do is just push.
Yes.
There's no pulling movements.
Yep.
Because there's no such thing as pull in breaking.
Yeah.
Because you need something to hang on to, but you can't really bring your pull-up bar for dancing.
Yeah.
So their backs usually not very developed.
Yes.
And then especially if they do a lot of push, their back starts rounding more and more. But you need to do the opposite movements where you pull, so you can get your chest out, so for more balance. So it's not just for aesthetics.
Yes.
You need some basic pulling movements for better muscle health.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not like, oh, I don't need back muscles because I don't do any pull-ups. So that could be wrong because your back muscles also help out with push as well.
Yes.
So it's good to be well-rounded.
Yeah, always. I think that like actually having a more aesthetic build is also more functional. Like it's like the reason why I think historically or scientifically in our brains we see it as aesthetic is because like that's actually sort of how things are supposed to like to be like for like things to be healthy.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to make breakers look like bodybuilders or anything, but I'm trying to, I'm just trying to help them out. Depends on their goals. Because some people may not need much strength, right? Especially if they do a lot of footwork, they just they might need some strength on their ankles or some wrists and fingers, but maybe not as much on their shoulders. Versus people like Junior, they will definitely need a lot of strength in the shoulders. So it will just depends on the person.
Is it very different when you're training them, like when there's like maybe a battle coming up versus if it's just like general like practice or? Yeah,
so biggest competition we just had was national qualifiers to become the national team member, and then Hong Ten just qualified, so which is good. I wouldn't say it's all because of me, because Hong Ten was already good enough even before he met me. But I hope it helped in some way. And then there are a couple competitions in June. when they're preparing, but it's like exhibition battle, so they don't have to win.
Right.
But yeah, I'm just, yeah, I'm not doing anything special for now. I'm just giving them just like basic like splits routine for flexibility, and then we have a guy who wants to do the air chair. He's been breaking for 20 years, but he was never able to do the air chair because of his lack of shoulder mobility. So I'm helping him out as well. So hopefully
awesome.
air chair by 2023.
By 23?
Yeah, takes a long time.
That's very cool. Yeah, that was one move that like all of us would like used to try all the time because after like I mentioned Dan off camera before too. Like we would watch Korean b-boys back in the day as Asian Americans, and then we would see all these guys doing air chair, and we would all just try it over and over again. And some of us, we got lucky enough to do it, but yeah. Yeah,
because not everybody's meant to do all the breaking moves, so you have to admit that you might have to give up on some because you're not gifted, or your body's just not made to do that way. So let's say, for example, let's say you have really short arms.
Yeah.
So, and if you have short arms, there's no way you can be really good at flares. Yeah, you can try and then be decent at it, but you'll be always behind people who have longer arms, and so that they have way more advantage. So if that's the case, don't let yourself down, but just try other moves that are better for you. Don't try things that are not. So you're not gifted. So it's good to realize what you're gifted with. So because it's hard to tell sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
So sort of like keep building off of your natural strengths along with developing like a more rounded thing.
Yeah. So like for example, maybe your upper body's weak, but maybe your lower legs stronger. Maybe you can focus on like tumbling or something. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that case, do you think that like functional strength training is sort of like, I guess what looks like a successful functional strength training is also sort of dependent on your natural body composition or like your natural, I guess like your natural body shape?
So there's definitely some general strength training that you should be doing, but I think the better trainer should be able to prescribe exercises that are just like for you, we have a person who cannot really rotate their elbows that well. So I'm helping out the rotation of the elbow, because if you can rotate elbows, that means you can compensate with the shoulder, and then it can lead into like shoulder problems. So I'm giving him the elbow exercises, but for others, like I don't give him.
Is your clientele primarily like in Korea, or do you also do like online training or like online coachings or like
stuff like that? I do online coaching. So I don't really promote that I do online coaching, but if I get asked, I can provide online coaching. But primarily my focus is like in person, because I like actually seeing that person. But if the person who lives abroad in Korea but really likes me, I guess, I don't really, I make sure I help them as much as possible. So both in person and online.
Makes sense. So then if people want to like get trained by you, then they should come to Korea to find you. But if not, are there like other ways and stuff they should get in touch, or like I guess be able to learn from you as well? So you can direct message me on Instagram, and we can see how to go from there. And then I do have like people coming from like foreign countries to come here to train, because I speak English, so I can help you out with English classes. And also if you're Korean watching this, I don't know how many Koreans are here, but I can obviously speak Korean as well. Thanks for letting me interview, Dad. I'll turn the camera back on if I have more questions. But no,
it's end for now, but we might come back.
Might come back. Honestly, it's an interesting mix. I'm trying to make this a sort of semi-professional interview, but we've kind of just been hanging out all day. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a great time here in Korea.
Thanks for having me.
We did some training as well earlier. Like Dad noticed some things with my own body that he's tried to help me correct, or taught me some exercises to do too. So I'll throw some B-roll over this, probably to make it more interesting. But
he literally landed in Korea this morning and then came here.
Because
I'm flying out tomorrow, so today was the only day we could meet.
Literally been running on caffeine and like what's left of my pre-workout from 2 days ago to stay awake and try to do handstands and stuff. But it's been a great time. It's been a blessed time.
I hope you have fun in Korea.
I've been having a great time. Been having a great time here so far. And I think it'll be a great trip as well.
Enjoy.
Thanks so much, Dad.
Thank you.
Cool. All right.
All right.
Peace.
Yeah.